After hearing what the breaches of a contract were last week, I'm sure you're wondering what the remedies for those breaches are. Well, you're in luck because today I'll be telling you all about the remedies in case of a breach of contract. Let's get to it. Hello and welcome to Talking Smart to the Dando Man. I am the Dando Man, the best there is, there was, and there is to come. Thank you once again for joining me for today's edition of Talking Smart with the Dando Man. This channel will equip you as an entrepreneur with the skills, tools, and information you need in order to start and grow your business. So if you're interested in content like that, please do consider subscribing. Hashtag road to 100. Slowly but surely, we are getting there. Today, I'll be talking to you about the remedies available to aggrieved parties in case of a breach of contract. So yeah, let's get to it. So the first remedy which is available for the innocent party or the aggrieved party when there is a breach of contract, that was long, is specific performance. This is basically a claim from the aggrieved party or the innocent party for specific performance or for performance in terms of the contract from the guilty party or the other contracting party which is supposed to perform. If the actual performance cannot be rendered or is impossible, then the aggrieved party can claim damages instead. The aggrieved party can also claim damages if there were financial losses which were incurred because of the breach of contract. The courts will not grant the claim for specific performance in these following instances. First of all, if the performance is impossible. Number two, if the performance of the guilty party will be of great detriment to the guilty party. Number three, if the guilty party is insolvent. In those cases, the court will not grant specific performance. It will probably grant damages instead. For example, if maybe I'm unfairly dismissed, and then I go to the court and sue my employer for dismissing me, and I actually win the case. And I actually asked the judge to order my former employer, to reinstate me. However, during the course of the trial, my relationship with my former employer has gotten so bad that we can't really move forward or work together. Hence, the court, if it is aware of that, will not grant that order, will not order the employer to reinstate me. Instead, maybe they'll order them to pay damages and all that. So in some cases, the specific performance is not really the viable option, but in some it is very suitable. And the second remedy which is available in case of a breach of contract is cancellation. The innocent party may claim cancellation in case of a breach of contract. They can claim cancellation in the following instances. First of all, if the other contracting party has breached a substantial term in a contract. Then the second one is that if there was positive malperformance, but the performance was so defective that the other party or the innocent party cannot accept it or actually rejects it outright, then they can claim cancellation. The third one, if the other party accepts repudiation. If you don't know what repudiation is, I'll suggest that you watch it in the previous video that we did last week. Then the fourth one is that if there is a clause in the contract which stipulates that the contracting parties may cancel the contract in case of a certain breach of a contract. The other instance is when time is of the essence in a contract and the performance is late. So basically, if I needed you to come at my wedding at 8 o'clock, to do something, and you come at 10 o'clock when the wedding is over. But yeah, basically, then you've breached the contract and I can cancel the contract because the time was of the essence in that particular contract. So what you have to know is that the court does not really like granting orders for cancellation of contract. They want to protect the sanctity of contracts. Basically, if a contract is entered into, the court feels or sees it fit that the contract should be fulfilled. The obligations of the contract should be fulfilled, because basically contracting parties are the ones who instituted the contract. So they want to protect the sanctity of contracts. However, if there is a breach of contract in terms of these instances which I've listed, then the court is most likely to grant the order for cancellation. And the third remedy available in case of a breach of contract is a claim for damages. Basically, damages are compensation from the aggrieved party for the breach of contract or for causing financial loss by the breach of contract. So the innocent party may claim damages if there were any financial losses which were incurred because of the breach of contract or the actions of the guilty party. So in those instances, then the contracting party may claim damages from the guilty party. For example, if you're building a roof, in my house, and then it happens that you do not build it sufficiently, and then it rains, then it pours, then it breaks the roof, and then the rain just messes up my furniture and all of that. Basically, I can claim damages because you breached a contract, by not building a good enough roof. And the fourth remedy, which is available in case of breach of contract, are penalty clauses. Basically, a penalty clause is a clause in a contract which is stipulated by both the contracting parties that in case of a breach of contract, this is what will happen. In case of a breach of contract, this is how the guilty party is supposed to act, or this is what they're supposed to do. Maybe they're supposed to pay certain damages, a certain amount of damages. Maybe they have to perform in a specific way, or maybe they have to deliver something. Basically, it's what is stipulated. Basically, if we, for example, play a game of dare, and then I say we both agree that if you don't do the dare, then you buy me a pizza, or you buy the other party or the other person a pizza. And then I dare to go jump over the roof, and you don't do it with good enough reason. Then you buy me a pizza. Basically, yeah, that's an example of a penalty clause. I mean, that's not really a contract, but yeah, that's just an example of what the essence of a penalty clause is all about. Then the fifth remedy which is available for contracting parties in case of a breach of contract is an interdict. Now, interdict is a court order which orders someone or compels another party to act in a certain way or to refrain from acting in a certain way. So the aggrieved party or a contracting party may go to the court and ask for them to ask for an interdict if they feel that the other party is threatening to commit a breach of contract or has committed a breach of contract. So they may actually ask the court to order them to stop, and not actually commit the breach of contract, or to actually act in a certain way in order to prevent that breach of contract. For example, if I buy a car from you and then, everything is set, you're supposed to deliver it to me tomorrow, but then you find a better offer and you basically want to sell it to the other person, I can go to the court and actually ask them to provide me with a court order or interdict in order for me to compel you not to actually sell it to the other person, because that would be breaching the contract, but to sell it to me. The sixth remedy which is available in case of a breach of contract is exceptio non adimpleti contractus. Hey! Okay, I'm sorry for those who don't understand, but let me explain what exceptio non adimpleti contractus means. Basically, exceptio non adimpleti contractus is basically a defense against a claimant who is claiming for performance when they haven't performed themselves. Yeah, basically this, in simpler terms, you asked me to perform in a certain way. However, my performance is contingent or is dependent on you performing first. So I can claim exceptio non adimpleti contractus because I need you to perform first before I can actually perform. So yeah, this is basically my defense against your claim for me to perform, because I need you to perform. I don't know if you understand. If you don't, well, tell me in the comment section if you understand or not. And if you're finding value in this video, please press the like button. Basically, those are all the remedies. So now that you know the remedies in case of breach of contract, how do contracts terminate? How do contracts actually end? Well, no. I see what you're doing right there. Listen, if you really want to know how contracts terminate, then you better subscribe and hit the notification bell, because next week I'll be telling you about how contracts do terminate. So please press the subscribe button and notification bell to get that. If you found value in this video, press the like button, comment, and tell me what you think about these remedies. Maybe you can have a suggestion on what the remedies are, what penalty clauses would you put in your contract, and what would you do if actually someone breached your contract. Please do share everything on the comment section below. You guys don't really talk to me. Please talk to me. Like, I'm so nice to talk to, guys. Thank you very much for joining me for today's edition of Talking Smart to the Dando Man. Please do go like our Facebook page, Talking Smart to the Dando Man, and follow our Instagram page at Talking Smart, and go listen to our podcast, Talking Smart to the Dando Man, available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Breaker, wherever you listen to your podcast from. And yeah, it's interesting stuff. I recently interviewed someone, a recruitment consultant, on how to find the right employees for your business. So if you're interested, I'll leave the links down below for you to go and check out. Anyways, that's it from me, the Dando Man. Thank you very much for joining me. I love you guys. You know that. I love you very, very much. Anyways, that's it from me, the Dando Man. Remember, you never turn your dreams into a reality while you're still asleep.